Welcome back, Night Owls. And today we have a video on the hardest hitting DPS in the game, the Pyromaniac, my favorite, the sambuk. Check here, I sped it up a little bit not to waste your time, but just look for a hostile takeover so you can watch and see how the sambuk is hitting just at level 5 now, how quick the shots are. We're not at level 6 yet. At level 6, we get to turn around and get a 25% reload speed on all of our fire weapons. And that is going to be absolutely incredible when we hit level 6. That's going to make it an even harder hitting DPS. Nothing else in the game can compare. Is it slow? Yes. Can it tank a lot of hits? Probably not. Can it get the job done really quick? Absolutely. Is it fun? Yep. So let's take a look at what we have here. We go in and look, we've got Zamzama 3s in the first slot, second slot, and third slot. In the fourth slot, we use Darndels. On the auxiliary, we go ahead and use the Leopold 3. Now you can use the Infernal Maw Spring Loader, which is absolutely nice. There's a couple ways you can use it. You can shoot it into the water and let them run over it, or you can circle them with it and then shoot it with your Pyromaniac and set a huge fire. Now I use the Buccaneer's Oath. Take a look at this. This is incredible for the sambuk. Incredible for anything that you want DPS. But take a peek. The stats aren't all that great, but what it does is absolutely nuts. We pop in here, we've got 20% floating, 15% flooding, 20% fire, 20% piercing. Nothing to write home about. But when we get in here, you get blood and gold activated whenever you destroy a target, which increases your weapon damage and your armor by 25% for 30 seconds. This effect stacks. This puts so much DPS out. When you got a group of enemies and some of them sink a little bit easier than others, take out those easy ones, watch it spread. The explosion and the ablaze effect both do damage to anything within range. And then you've got everything ablaze. You take a look at the furniture in a minute, you'll see why that works out as well. You've just got a domino effect of explosion after explosion of everything just dying. If you can get a healer in there with you, absolutely incredible. So for the first one, we use the rigging station because we play solo. That's going to give us some health whenever our health is less than 20%. You don't like that, you can switch that out for something else. Me personally, I like to switch between this and crew attacks that restore your health. Always nice for a way to restore your own health and not have to depend on somebody else. The next one we've got in here is increase the charge rate of ablaze effect on enemy ships by 10%. Increase damage to enemy ships with ablaze effect by 10%. So if they're on fire, they get a 10% damage increase. Restore 1% of severe damage per second when out of combat. That is super important if you're running solo or if you have a healer that's not the bark. The bark will handle that damage for you, and you could put something else in here if you wanted to as well. Me personally, I use this. If I accidentally get sunk, it fixes it. The potent schematic's absolutely a must still. Another 10% damage on weak spots. This thing has such a spread hit that you're going to be hitting those weak spots several times. Absolutely must to have in here. We'll go and look at the last one. We've got the Demi Cannon Furnace. It's going to increase maximum range of Demi Cannons by 10%. Anybody that plays with Demi Cannons, with the Zamzamas, or any other Demi Cannon knows the range is absolutely atrocious. But not anymore. This one gives us that 10% increase, giving us a little bit further damage. Now you still have the Darndels in the back that can handle stuff at a range. So if you're trying to dock and something's messing with you, you can use your auxiliary, the Darndels, and handle up on the situation. Or if you're just trying to get away, you've got the Darndels. Or if you just need a different weapon type, you've got it on the back as well. You can swap out and hit it. Me personally, I like to park the head of the ship on a boss and switch between my 3, steer left, steer right, and drop as much DPS as insanely possible. And that's why this is so great. At level 6, you're going to be pumping that out 25% faster because your fire stuff is going to reload 25% faster at level 6. Absolutely incredible. At level 5, you take it to level 13 to go ahead and get those level 13 bonuses. You don't want to miss out on any of this. The sambuk, if you have not tried it, you're asleep on it. Play with it. The only scenarios that I can't find it great in is if you're in massive plunders solo, or if you're fighting any of the monsters, which not so great, but I still go out there and fight them with it as long as I'm with other people solo. Not gonna do it. Plunders, if you're with somebody, they can worry about all the cannons and shotgun walls while you worry about all those ships that become a pain in the neck for everybody. You're gonna go through and wipe them out in no time. And remember, with that Buccaneer's Oath armor, you want to take out the lower ship first to get that stacking effect going that gives you that increase in damage and increase in defense to make you a little bit stronger. And then just start plowing everything down. Start chunking your bosses off. Every time they come in for reinforcements, wipe out those reinforcements, let the ablaze spread to the boss, smash the boss again. Don't forget to use those crew attacks. Crew attacks are a must to keep it ablaze. If somebody else comes in and do it, keep a little bit back from them. Don't let them block your shots. Get as many shots as you can. The only downside to this build is it eats cannonballs. I went through 20,000 cannonballs over the last 3 days, but I have farmed non-stop with it, just destroying everything in the ocean. If you want to be a pirate, you want nothing but chaos and to see the world burn, the Pyromaniac is your pick. It is a brainless pick. It is so much fun. Go have fun. Stop using the other ships that attack from an incredible distance away that's just slow hits and boring and keeping you out of the action. Dive right into the action. Leroy Jenkins inside of everything and set the world on fire. You have no excuse to not be doing this. And here's some sped up footage for you just to check out and see how these fights work. I move in on the world event. I take out the lower ships first, and then I just start wailing on the bosses. More reinforcements come, we wipe them out, we keep it going. This is such a great thing. So lock it in. Once you try this and you fall in love with it, come back to the channel, smash that like button and hit the subscribe, tap on that bell, and turn on all notifications. You don't want to miss this. And if you ever want to game along, feel free to jump into a game. I'm usually live on Twitch or YouTube. Jump into either one, come play along with us. Let's try some things out. And if you have any tips, drop them and let me know.